And welcome to this special New Year's rendition of my latest review. We're going to be covering all of the recent girls that I just have to... Wait, what? What are you doing? What are you doing?
I was told to come here.
No. You had your review already.
But you can't review my friends without reviewing me. That's not fair.
I reviewed you already. Scoot!
Fine, I'm out of here.
Sorry about that rude interruption. Now then, let's get this thing set up right, because we are going to be covering for my final review today. I am Kylo the NESMAN. Here with me is my lovely wifey, Kelsey Yasha Twinklemane.
Hi.
Go check her out on her social media. She's got all sorts. She's got Twitter. She's got Facebook. She's got Instagram. She's got all that good stuff. And there will be links to that in the description below. But for this particular video, we are going to be reviewing some of the three finest Autobots there ever was. We are going to be covering Windblade, the Titan Master. And I'll go into more details about why I think this is and this is not a good idea. But there's more cons than pros to this, believe me. We're going to be covering Chromia, the final of the female Autobots that I didn't review yet. And I'm looking to get the new model version, but this is the older one. And I'm going to be going into detail talking about this. And finally, we are going to be covering Arcee. And this is not the Titan Master version. That was way too expensive. Had to get the other one, and it's like, finally, we get this model Arcee. This has been, 30 plus years since the original G1 came out, and they never made a toy of her. I'll get into that later. But without further ado, let us get into talking about this. And I am going to start off, not in the order that I said, but I believe the wifey wants to say something first. And
No.
What, honey?
I just wanted to go over.
She likes the toys. It's kind of like Dark Helmet from Spaceballs playing with the stuff. Baby, trying to conduct a review here. Okay.
But they're mine.
I know that. Anyway, the wifey loves stuff. I really can't blame her. But
I didn't get to play with Arcee yet.
You'll get to play with her after. Anyway, the wifey loves stuff. So, without further ado, I am going to be covering all three of these girls, and we're going to be starting off with Chromia. So, we're going to move these two to the side, and let's talk details about Chromia. Now, this is clearly a motorcycle design based off the Arcee motorcycle design they gave us before. At least that's what I believe. And you can see there are some definite distinctions between this and the G1 model, which was kind of like a soccer mom truck or soccer mom car when it first came out. But in the meantime, they've updated the look. And I think it's a decent upgrade from what we used to have in the G1. I'm kind of sad they didn't make a G1 version of this. Now, for those who don't know what part's the front of this Tron-looking cycle, I can tell you right now, the front is where the Autobot symbol is, right here. And I couldn't figure it out at first either. Like, what is the front? What is the back? Then someone told me the kickstand's on this side, and now it just flops over without it. And thank you, baby. It flops over without the kickstand, so you kind of want it there, or you can have it on this other side. It kind of stays there. On this side, it fits. There you go. For some reason, it stays there. So kickstand, are you necessary? No.
There for the time.
Yeah, probably. But let's get down to brass taxes. The wheels on the cycle go round and round. Yes, they do. And these split into two parts, but that's for the sake of the transformation. We'll get to that later on. I like the visor. This is definitely Tron. This is definitely a Tron cycle. I mean, there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is way too Tron-esque. I like the design, however, somewhat. I've seen better motorcycles. Wreck-Gar is a better motorcycle. Groove was a better motorcycle. Sorry to say, To me, the motorcycle variant, I'm not that big a fan of it for Chromia, but it's not terrible. I'm not gonna, do that. I'm not gonna do it that way. But it's all right. But I do like the way it rolls, as rolly things should. What do you think, babe?
Yeah, I wanted to do the rolling part.
She is such a child. Go ahead, do the roll of vroom, 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 vroom. See, this is how she plays with all her toys. Anyway, I'm helping her review this because she's not as detailed as I am. But the back of the figure, it's definitely, there's like really way too much space age going on here. Now, I know this is supposed to be a Cybertronian figure, but it's just, I'm not seeing, I don't think this is way too Tron, not Cybertronian. Maybe Cybertronian? Cybertron. I mean, it is Cybertron, so maybe that's where they got the name. I don't know what, and I honestly don't know why the wheel does this. I'm playing with the thing. It's just for the sake of transformation when it comes up, but really, it's not a necessity for the car itself. Well, the truck, vehicle. The motorcycle.
Honey, I believe that's a motorcycle.
Yes, it is. Thank you. But let's get down to transformation. Now then, for the sake of transformation, this does come up just like this. And the sorry about the horn out there. That splits apart rather neatly. And we're going to this part right here, right there, that untabs. That comes apart. And then all you really got to do is pull the legs down just like that. And there's that. Now, we're going to take the wheels like that. And we're going to put them in. Same part like this right here. We're going to move the leg up so you have an easier time. And voila, it lines up very nicely back there. And then you got some legs. She's got legs and she knows how to use them. Now, we're going to, let's see if I remember correctly. Yes, arms. Because arms are in the back. But first, I haven't done this in so long. I don't remember. I feel so embarrassed now. No, seriously. I know what I'm doing. I think. Let's see. Hey, I haven't played with this thing in a long, long time. Let's see. Okay. Okay. So it was the arms that bent this way. Yeah, that comes up. That comes back here. There's Chromia's head, right there. So she's all types of scrunched up in there, because that's kind of what the figure is. This is why I really don't transform this too often. Let's see. The joints are really tight.
Wouldn't it be this part right here?
I remember that coming off, yes. Yeah. Let's see.
That's the backpack, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I feel so embarrassed. Let's see. This is unbearably tight. Let me think. Oh, this is going to require some work. This has got to be the most uncomfortable position, though. Let me look at this for a minute. Like, if you were all types of scrunched up in here like this, wouldn't you be uncomfortable? I mean, really? All types of help. Mm-hmm. What? Mm-hmm.
The way her arms are tied up there.
I know. Let's see. This is going to take a moment. I am sorry. It's like she was hit with a transfixation ray. It's very difficult to transform her.
What? In Beast Machines.
Mm-hmm. Hold on. Let's see if I can get this underneath. There we go. That's what it was. See, Now, as you guys can see, this might give you no end of trouble because this locks into place very securely. So I had to take one of Windblade's actual guns, well, swords, and get that up in there. Now.
I remember that being the back kibble.
Mm-hmm. Back kibble's always a major pain. So now, stretching the arms. Stretching them arms out. Lovely, lovely, lovely. That's all kinds of weird. Oh my goodness. You know, she has got to be feeling comfortable now. She's got to be feeling all types of... Wow. Just look at this. This is a massive backpack right here. Now, I am not going to pretend that I know exactly what to do because I don't remember every little detail. But I do remember we gotta...
Tabs in securely in certain spots.
Only certain spots, because there is no waist articulation on this, so that makes it exceedingly difficult. So let's raise that up. Alrighty then. And there we have her. Now, yep, that's about right. Let's make sure there's nothing else. You know, there's actually, you can see, just for, let me stop right here. Nice little detailing on the back there. That took a full 5 minutes to figure that out, and that's not normally like me. So yeah, let's just put that there. But yeah, Chromia. This is Chromia. And I have to say, her robot mode is definitely is something I would keep in this form for a while, because transforming it into its vehicle mode is more tricky than I would like, and transforming it into its robot mode is more tricky than I would like. So it tends to stay in robot mode. But yeah, as you can see, very, very fine points of articulation there on that arm. Same as on this one. The knees bend very well so she can kick some Decepticon behind. And, oh my goodness. No waist articulation, which is kind of a shame. Not really. There we go. More straightening out of the waist. That's better. The waist articulation, or lack thereof, is kind of sad, really. But,
that's also kind of due to it being a motorcycle?
Yeah, I think so. There we go. Now the waist, well, now the legs move a little bit better because I just fixed the back the way it was supposed to be, I think. But yeah, this has a nice range of movement, and the legs do come up and out. The toes do not point or anything.
I know.
And it's got some mean look to it. Like, look at that face. Look at that face. This is definitely like definitely like her face from the G1 series, from the episode The Search for Alpha Trion, where you actually find out about the female Autobots. She can even do the whole John Cena, "You can't see me." You know, she's one of the few that can actually do that.
She's probably still mad at Moonracer.
For trying to butt into the video?
No. For G1.
That was millions of years ago.
Hey, they can hold a grudge.
Yeah, not for millions of years, though. Now, the hands kind of bend up a little bit, but that's for the sake of the transformation in the vehicular mode. Otherwise, I like the color scheme. They did at least manage to follow the blue. Why robots need robo-boobs, I don't know, to distinguish the fact that you are a woman, I guess. You know, it's just kind of weird. We already know she's feminine. She doesn't need robo-boobs. But she's got some good range of motion, so you can get her in all kinds of pretty cool poses. You know, and she's really cool. She's really cool. I do like how maneuverable this figure is, but unfortunately, unless you have it in a specific way, it can get rather top-heavy due to the back kibble. So, we're going to put her right back here for now. And the next one we're going to come to is Arcee. And let's let the wife do the vroom vrooms. Gotta love my wifey. But yes, this is Arcee, looking like a Barbie car. And that that's kind of the impression I got when I saw the figure back in the 80s. What really bugs me, and I'm going to say it, I know everybody else has said it already, this took too long to make. I mean, Arcee was a legend. She was badass. She was the only female Autobot to be featured in the movie. I know Chromia, Firestar, and Moonracer were the first, along with Alita 1, whom I've covered in previous videos. But I will say Arcee is still awesome. They're all awesome. Why didn't we get a figure of her sooner? Why, Hasbro? Come on now. But anyway, as you can see, yes. As you can see, the figure is pretty well detailed. Again, it's got the front line bumper. It's pretty daring. The lines look pretty smooth. I like the way they're up front like that. I like the Autobot symbol dead center. And if you really look, it's kind of difficult to see, but you can actually see some sweet detail in the dashboard. Like, you see the steering wheel there. Like, let me get in close in that. Forgive me if it's a bit blurry. I can't get any better than that. But it is a nice, excuse me, it is a nice steering wheel and dashboard concept. Little TV monitor. You know, when you want to watch Gummy Bears or Dora the Explorer on the go. When you want to do them awesome stuff. And it does roll very smoothly because of the way I have it set up. Transformation for this is a little bit weirder than Chromia, but it's not bad. It's not as complicated. But let's show from the back end. The back end is done up in a flattering button effect. And I must say it is very, very dashing and daring. But she was a courageous and caring individual. She loved those around her, and she was always there for her friends and everyone who needed her. So, under the underside, you can see chunks of robot kibble, but you have to really know what to look for with this one, because if it wasn't for the arms being straight right there, you wouldn't really be able to tell it was a robot underneath, which is pretty damn good. I like how it hides the robot kibble pretty well. Now, for transformation, all we gotta do is pull this down back a bit. If I recall correctly, there we go. That comes up, from down there, and flip that. Then we are going to pull the legs out like that. Other side, same dealy. Pull the leg out like that, and that looks like a funky space sled for Barbie and the Rockers. What do you think, babe?
Space frog.
Space frog? Did you really say space frog?
Yeah, because this part looks like frogish. And those look like frog legs.
Well, let's make her look like a woman then, shall we?
Yes.
Okay, now take the arms out, and we're going to take this top here. I'm going to separate this carefully. Have to be very careful about this one. Come down like that. Now the head is in there. Where are you, head? Let's see. There we go. Like that. Bring that down, and it pretty much latches in very easily. Now, sorry about that. And all right, there we go. And pull the legs down, and pull the legs down. I'm not the best at transforming these. Do forgive me. Let's see. Feet come down like the high heels they are. Like that.
And there you have Princess Leia.
Pretty much. She was kind of the Princess Leia of the Transformers series. But hold up. There we are. Alright. Now, that isn't so bad. You can hear it all clickety-clackening in the background there. There we go. Alright. She is ready. Ready for some action. Let's get a closer look, shall we? Up and there we go. Now, sorry about my shoddy camera work. I'm trying to keep it steady. That is Arcee. Now, this was, you could say, when she was introduced in the animated movie, she came off as forceful and strong, and she was something of a mother figure to their human friend Daniel. And later on throughout the series, that becomes a little bit more evident. But then they kind of shied away from that, and he became more friends with Wheelie, the rhyming Autobot. And she kind of had a development relationship with the Autobot Springer. No, not Jerry Springer. They had something of an on-again, off-again thing. But as for articulation, this has some pretty good all-the-way-around articulation. Elbows bend lovely, so she can just get that good pose in. Like, yeah, we did it! And then same thing goes for the other arm. All the way around. Head is on a ball joint, and it can go all the way around, just like that. And is that light piping I see? It looks like it. It looks like light piping in the eyes. My, my, my. Look at that. I love the back of the head sculpt because under the right light, and it shines right through there. Light comes through the eyes, so it is rather nicely done. As my wifey said, this does have a Princess Leia kind of head sculpt, but then I think that's what they were going for when they created her. And yeah, because you can clearly see that on the sides of the head. The face is done up very nicely in the original G1 style. Again, my only gripe with this figure is that they took too long to make it official. This does pose very well. The knee comes up lovely. Stretches all the way out. I know she's probably going to want to stretch after being in robot mode for so long.
Or kick someone in the ball bearings.
In the bottom, very, very nice. Can you say that on TV?
I think so.
Mm-hmm. For the record, there's a Chun-Li figure out that looks like this. So it was done in Chun-Li colors. So you guys, if you ever want to pick that up, you can. But yes, Arcee, ladies and gentlemen. I love the, we'll say the blackness on the gloves. It's kind of like fingerless gloves to her pink skin. It's pretty nice done. Nice little effect if you want to look at it that way, because really that's the first thing I think of when I see her glove design. The hands, like the fingerless gloves, they come right about here, so she wants to be more badass. It's either that or she's getting ready for an exercise video from the 80s with Richard Simmons.
And wherever will we pick up these two figures from?
Well, you can pick them up from Big Bad Toy Store, but if you really want some awesome stuff, I prefer one of my favorite stores, if not my favorite store, is the Kingdom of Bonhomme. You guys got to check him out for awesome stuff. Now then, that's Arcee. Last and most certainly not least, my favorite of the three, my absolute favorite, is Windblade. And I do the whooshing sounds. Whoosh. Whoosh. And she is all types of special here. Okay, go ahead, babe. Make the whooshing sound. She rooms, I whoosh. She rooms, I whoosh.
I'm pretty sure we got this one on Amazon.
Yes, I believe this one's an Amazon figure, but it matters not. I still find nice other places. Now, the thing that makes Windblade so special is she's got a Titan Master partner by the name of Scorchfire, right here. And like most of the Titan Masters, it's got the tiny little hands, and it fits right in there. You want to see it's got the face on the back. That's nice. That's nice and neat. And the arms spread out very nicely. And they fold. And transformation on that is simple enough. Just fold in the head and bam, there you go. We're going to keep her as Scorchfire for right now. Let's talk about this badass looking jet. Close that up. Now, I have seen her work these fans in the animated series she's from in Combiner Wars. I cannot stress enough how much I love the red and black color scheme. And I really, really wish they made a figure for her partner that was in the show, and her name was Maxima. And frankly, I don't know that I would have called this Scorchfire, because really, look at this figure. Does this look like a Scorchfire to you? Does it really look like it could, get that name? I would call it Maxima for the simple fact that, it's minimal. So the Maxima name would actually be kind of ironic and thus would fit. But I'm going to take a silent moment to honor, the actual Maxima. May she rest in peace and be one with the Allspark.
In the arms of the angel.
Wish they would have made a figure of her.
I know. Anyway. So, away from sad times, she's got some powerful fans right here in this part of the jet, and the wings look so good. Like, your typical jets have the wings facing the opposite direction like the Seekers do, but hers, these just look so sweet and sharp. And on the bottom, you really can't tell. Again, this is one of those, if you didn't know it was a robot, you wouldn't be able to tell it's robot kibble or junk underneath, except for the hands. You can see those clearly. Here, not so much. Now, the cockpit, as you saw, opens up lovely, so you can put any Titan Master figure in here and close it up. And then what can I say about Windblade? She was amazing in the show. She had a serious badass personality, and she had a thirst for vengeance. But when you consider what she went through, if you've watched Combiner Wars, she lost her best friend. Most of her people were like wiped out left and right, and she took out the Combiner Menasor by herself with one sword swipe. She beat him down. Now, that is raw power. I loved watching her in action. Go check out Combiner Wars if you can find it on YouTube or on Machinima's main site if they haven't taken it down yet. It's an amazing series.
Excuse me. She's not from Cybertron, is she?
No, you're right, actually. She is from Caminus, a world that some Cybertronian settlers took to when Cybertron's original inhabitants were escaping. And, they needed a new place to colonize. She and a few other Titans actually wound up there. And she's considered a city speaker. She's able to communicate with Titans like no other. And one Titan in particular I will be getting into talking about, but not here, because this current set is way too small to talk about him. So, before I get into that in another review, let's go into detail about the wings. I like the wings like the fans. She fought using these as weaponry, and she was able to blow Optimus Prime into the air. Now, this dude can take a lot of punishment, but she could stand to go toe-to-toe with Prime himself, and that earns badassery stickers in my book.
If I recall correctly from that trilogy, she tried to kill, what's his name, that annoying Decepticon? Star something.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. She's talking about Starscream when she tried to wipe him out. And honestly, wouldn't you? I mean, she said she wasn't trying to aim for Starscream. She was trying to destroy the Enigma of Combination. But come on. Who wouldn't try to kill Starscream? Really? He's annoying as hell. Now, the detail, more detail, the wings. I like the miniature wings in the background right here to give it more of a super strong, super fast jet aesthetic. I mean, if there was ever a classification of female aerial bots, I would definitely put her on that team. But she could stand all by herself. I mean, she can go toe-to-toe with a Combiner and kill it, and was able to go toe-to-toe with Optimus. Yeah, she's in a class all by herself. But enough brooding over how awesome she is. Let's get down to transformation, shall we? Now, this one's the more simpler one. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these legs, very simple, pull them out, and pull them down. Just like that. Then we take flip up the landing gear, put it down, and put that down there, like that. Very simple transformation. Then take the feet, just like that. Very simple, because that's how feet go. On the waist, we're going to push that up, just like that. And And have the wings just back here like that. And if you want to see what I just did, because I know the camera was was not really fluid with me there, we're going to scroll up a bit so you can actually see what I did with the wings, like that, and move them back just a little bit. I mean, you can have them forward, you can have them back. It's your toy. You can do whatever you want with it. And then this, and then this. Very simple. But she doesn't have a head. We'll get to that. First, arms come out like that. Arms come out like that. And, very simple, we're going to transform Scorchfire, who should be Maxima, into the head, and plug it in just like that. Oops. And voila! We have Windblade. And again, beautiful, beautiful figure. This is, hands down, my favorite of the three. Not just because of how badass the character was, but I love the color scheme. I love how detailed her robot mode is. Oh, and there's one thing I forgot. Got to put the shoulders up like that. And the shoulders up like that. There we go. Now you're looking like a woman. Now you're looking like a woman with that awesome shoulderness.
Please check out our other videos where we reviewed other female Transformers.
Yes, indeed. We have other female Transformers on this channel that we have covered, but next year we're planning on getting more. But before I go away for the year, just want to talk about the articulation. Up and down. The arm does move all the way around. It's difficult to get all the way back there, so you got to kind of move the wings back. So you're not really going to get much in the way of more movement unless you put the wings back. But I kind of like the wings out like that, just partially. Same thing with this side. Elbows bend. No hand motion, sad, and no waist articulation for the sake of transformation into the vehicle mode.
And what's that thing over there?
What thing?
The little weapon over there?
Oh, that's right. I almost forgot. This bad babe comes with some weaponry. She's got 2 swords. One here and one here. These are the very weapons that she used to crush Menasor. And she fights with these. Well, she doesn't play hopscotch with them, that's for sure. Now then, oops. Let's bring that there. These can get a little bit tricky sometimes, but yes, there we are. And these ain't for beating drums. I'll tell you that right now. Now, forgive me that I don't have the weapons for the other female Autobots. I did lose them. That's my bad. But yes, she's got some decent posability with them. You can get her in numerous kinds of poses if you like. Not too many, but they work. And this is, without a doubt, my favorite. They turn around very, very well. Pretty cool. Like that, back and forth. So there's not much else to say but how detailed I like this. I like the red and black. I really do. But before I geek out any further, I see my by the clock on the wall that I have to go, sadly. So, this is Kylo the NESMAN with the wifey, Kelsey Asha Twinklemane.
Hey.
And we are bidding you adieu and a happy new year. We love you all. And remember this, as always, childhood into adulthood, brotherhood and sisterhood. We love it all and we love you all. And don't forget, growing old is mandatory, but growing up is optional. You guys remember that into your new year. Don't stop enjoying yourself. Don't stop enjoying toys. And remember, more important than anything else, don't stop enjoying. You guys have a safe and happy new year. Peace.